At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners. News is brought to you in part by One Nevada Credit Union, where right now you can refinance your auto loan with rates as low as 2.98% and no payments for 90 days for qualified members. Call us today for details. 775-751-9880. News 46 is also brought to you by the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino. Located at the intersection of Route 372 and Highway 160, you can call the Pahrump Nugget at 775-751-6500, or you can visit their website at www.parumpnugget.com. News is also brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 775-751-0349.
Tonight on News 46, Day 2 of Daniel Robbins' murder trial.
The physical condition worsens for a domestic abuse victim.
And Nye Communities Coalition holds a medicine chest challenge. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Zach Fuentes and Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
And good evening, everyone. It's Friday, November 9th, 2012. I'm Zach Fuentes.
And I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46.
The Daniel Robbins murder trial began yesterday. News 46 caught up with editor of the Pahrump Valley Times, Matt Ward, and reporter Kelsey Givens.
Yes, I was at the Robbins case this morning, covering it, the opening arguments and the first few witnesses. Essentially, the prosecution's case is that instead of calling the police when 21-year-old Christopher Mundy showed up at their Benson Circle home on August 18th, 2011, the resident of the home, Daniel Robbins, sort of the patriarch of the Robbins family who lived at this home, took it upon himself to deal with this supposed intrusion by shooting and killing Christopher Mundy and also wounding a 14-year-old boy who happened to be with Christopher Mundy that night. The defense attorneys essentially are arguing that first of all, Christopher was warned over and over and over not to show up to the residence, and instead of heeding those warnings, and of course there was an early back and forth between the parents of his girlfriend Jennifer Robbins and himself online that got really heated, at least on one side of the argument, the parent side. Got very heated, and it seems that Chris Mundy wanted to, make peace with the parents, and so ended up driving over to the house at 1:30 in the morning. Well, the defense is saying that the parents repeatedly warned Chris not to show up at the house, repeatedly, told him that, he would be trespassed. Even the mother even said that they would call police, and the defense essentially has told the jury that the gun going off, the fatal shot that killed Chris, was an accident. Now, there was a warning shot even before the fatal shot. A shot was fired into the boy's bumper, the bumper of the car he was driving, and after that, a fatal shot was fired by Daniel Robbins. Now, a witness, before the first witness took the stand, the prosecution played the 911 tape from that night of Kathy Robbins, Daniel Robbins' wife, calling 911 and essentially saying, "My husband just shot a trespasser." And the tape was very chilling. You could hear Kathy Robbins telling the dispatcher that essentially we told this boy not to come on the property. He came on the property, and my husband shot him. And you can actually hear it on the tape apologizing to Chris, saying, I'm sorry, I didn't even know you, but you should have left. We told you not to come on our property. Why did you stay, you know? Very chilling, very emotionally charged phone call, obviously. In the background of the phone call, you can hear Pablo Flores, the young boy who was with Christopher Mundy that night. And you can hear him kind of getting emotional and asking if he's dead. And then you can hear him calling his older brother, Christopher Mundy's best friend, and proclaiming to the brother, you know, he shot. So it's very emotional. And of course, I had to leave after the morning, so Kelsey Givens took over coverage for us.
Coverage of the Robbins trial in the afternoon, and they started with Daniel Robbins' daughter, Jennifer Robbins. Both the prosecution and the defense had a chance to question her, and the questions were about the jail phone call she had called to Christopher Mundy and what she had asked him to do and if she had given him permission to go get the car from her parents' house. And they brought up some things that she had said to a detective during an interview when she was told about the shooting originally. And apparently she had said some things like she wanted her father to stay in prison and she didn't like him, and she was very upset and emotional about the incident, and has since said she said those things just in the heat of the moment, and she didn't really mean them after reflecting on it for several months later. And the second person to come up in the trial was Daniel Robbins' wife, Kathy Robbins, and the prosecution had their turn to question her today. The defense should be able to question her and take their turn tomorrow when the trial continues. The basis of the questioning for Kathy, they talked a lot about whether or not she had actually called 911 when Mundy first appeared on their property. She claimed over and over again when asked by the prosecution that she had dialed 911. They also asked her about several Facebook messages between herself and Mundy, and between her husband and Mundy prior to the incident happening on August 8, 2011. The prosecution then also read aloud the Facebook messages to the jury so they could see the transactions that had happened before Mundy showed up on the property and was subsequently shot. The Facebook messages were a little bit graphic, contained some foul language, but basically they were just a back and forth. Mundy had requested to be Kathy Robbins' Facebook friend. She denied sending back a message telling him that the family was not wanting to be friends with him. They wanted nothing to do with him, and they just wanted their daughter back. And it continued. He sent her a Facebook message back, arguing with her a little bit, and she sent another one. And the last Facebook message she sent, she told him not to come around the property or they would call the cops. And that was basically what came out in the afternoon on Thursday.
Pahrump resident Elisa Lawrence, who is the aunt of 26-year-old Megan Kimbrough, called News 46 today to give an update on her niece, Megan Kimbrough. Megan is a victim of domestic violence and the mother of 2 small children. Her case has received worldwide attention, hope, and prayers for her recovery after her husband lit her on fire while she was sleeping.
Megan was burned alive back in August and has fought for her life ever since. She is now in hospice care and expected to live only a few more precious hours, according to her aunt, Elisa Lawrence. The chaplain has been called to her bedside in the hospital in Florida. Her lungs are filling with fluid and her organs are shutting down. Just 3 weeks ago, Megan underwent her 12th surgery and was doing well. However, she took a turn for the worse shortly after when she contracted an infection. Megan's husband, 32-year-old Joshua Kimbrough, has been arrested and charged with pouring gasoline on her and lighting her on fire inside the Lakeland, Florida home. Megan was burned over 80% of her body. Many of Megan's family members are Pahrump Valley residents. Pahrump Valley Auto Plaza held a fundraiser to help Megan with her hospital bills. Plans are being made to bury Megan Kimbrough in Arizona, where her small children will live with a relative. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
For updates on Megan, you can go to Megan's Outreach Facebook page.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family and friends.
Yes.
Domestic violence is not a joke. If you are a victim or you know someone who is a victim, do not hesitate to get help for that. All right, folks, we'll have more after the break. More news after this break. Please keep it here.